Thanks for tuning in to Horseshoeing Solutions. My name's John. Today we're working with Shaylee feet. When we first started working on Boomer, he came to me. His feet had no structure to them. Everything was falling apart. When I pushed on his soles, I could push on his soles and he would flinch. That means I had no sole buildup. And the sole is like the bottom of your foot, like the sole that's underneath your shoe that you stand on. Anyways, the ticket to work with horses to get them sound and to make them feel better is, if they're super shaly and soft feet, is you need to build sole. The thing about the sole is, when you have a weak hoof wall and you have a very spongy foot, is the sole holds the outside of the hoof wall together. It grabs it, it binds. So if you, with your knife, pare all this out to make it look pretty for concavity, there's nothing that holds the hoof wall together. It just falls out. Here's your hoof wall, here's your sole. But if the hoof wall has some sole in here to hold it together, it stands it upright and it keeps it together. If there's no sole, the hoof wall falls out like so, and that's where they get weak and shaly. So if you see, I put a little bit of concavity into it, but here's where I left my sole even with my hoof wall, way out here. So I have from here to here thickness of sole holding the wall on. That's the ticket. If you strip all this sole away, the wall has no strength and it will fall apart. So this guy now, when I depress on his sole, it's not spongy or squishy because we built sole up on him. The other ticket is, you need to keep bringing that foot back. His foot was way out in front of him. That's why he can never stand up. You can see how shaly it is. It just literally wants to just break off right here. So we've been bringing his hoof wall back. You can see I'm back into the white line, but his hoof wall still needs to come back a little bit more. So when you're backing up your toe, you want to keep a lot of sole also, like we're doing here. So sole is a great thing because the sole holds the hoof wall upright. If you don't have the sole on there, the hoof wall on the outside will want to fall out. And that's where the feet become flat. That's where the nails drive through and the foot just crumbles. So sole is very important. This is all sole right here. That's the same height as the hoof wall itself out here. And then I put a little bit of concavity right here. It doesn't really need it. You can just clean it up with the frog and cut that out. But for shaly feet, you got to leave sole, because the sole is the binder between the hoof wall to keep the feet up and to make the feet grow. If you get fancy with your knife and you take all of that out, the wall will fall apart and the sole will not be able to stand up. Thanks for tuning in.